Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the third video from tutorial 4. In this video we are going to format the pie chart that we created previously. In here we're going to learn about chart titles, we're going to talk about data labels and legends. We're going to delve deep into how we can format and make those things look the best for delivering our message. Okay, so you can see that we ended with a pie chart after last video. And when Excel creates a pie chart, you can see we've got the information here. We have a legend which is showing us our categories. We've got the actual chart itself based on the numbers, and we've got our title, which comes from right here, our title. But it doesn't look the best. We've got white background. We've got this on the bottom. Maybe we want to make some changes. So what we're going to look at in this video is all the formatting things that we can do. Now, for those of you who have been around and you've used Excel 2007 or Office 2010, you remember up here that there was 4 tabs for your charting tools. So now you can see there's only 2. And basically what has been done is we've moved down here and you can see we've got different buttons. This is given us some real strengths. There's some new things that we can do with the charts that we could never do before. And there's some things that just have been moved around from one place to another. So those are just things of finding out how to redo what you wanted to do without having your other 2 tabs up here. So let's take a look at some of these things. You can see this button here, when I click on it, gives me my chart elements. And you can see I'm looking at my title, my labels, and my legend. By clicking on and off right here, you can see I turn on or off the title. One of the nice things about this is on the side they give us this little arrow whenever there's more options. So if I click here, you can see I can put the option of making the title overlaid, and as you can see over here on the actual chart, it overlays it to show you what it would look like before you actually pick it. So if I don't pick it, you can see it stays with the other one. Now in this case, I'm going to actually get rid of my chart title, so I remove that chart title here. Now you'll notice that I have data labels not checked, and I don't have any right now. When I click on my data labels here, you can see it puts these in, and it puts them right on top of the chart. And it's giving us values. So you can see that right here we see 3,500. That value came from here, because that represents Chardonnay, 3,500 cases. So we have some controls here. The first control, if you put your pointer on the data label tab here, we go right to here, and you can see I can decide where I want my data labels. I can put them on the outside end, I can put them on the inside, I can best fit them, which is how the computer will always do it. I can put them right dead near the center. In this case I want them on the outside end, and I pick there. Now the next thing I may choose to do with this is, instead of having the values, I might like to see the percentage, show the percentage of the whole. So to get that, I come to my data label and I go down here to where it says more options. Now this is where it's going to open up a tremendous amount of tools for us. You can see this format data tab, or excuse me, pane gets opened up. In here we're going to find that there's a huge amount of really cool things you can do. I would suggest you go out there and play with it. Get a feel for things, see if you can break it, but try some of these different things to get a feel for what you can and can't do. Right now you can see values is clicked, so I see value. As soon as I click in percentage, notice it lets me see both the percentage and the value up here. And since I only want a percent, I'm going to click right there, and you can see I now just have a percentage. Down a little bit further here, you can see I can position where I want things, and then right here as a number I can choose to click right there, and as I scroll down you can see right now my number is formatted as a general. So I decided I don't want a general, I'd like to have some more control, so I click here and I'll turn it into a percentage. You can see now I have a percentage with 2 decimal places. I can even control how many decimal places by coming here, and I just click there and change that to a 1, and now you can see I have 1 decimal place. So this is just like the book is asking you to do. These are different effects that we can have here. You have a bunch of other different buttons up here that we're going to learn more about as we go through some of the other things. Now, I could come to here and click on my chart elements, drop down to my legend, and then move here and make some changes based on here. But I want to show you some other ways to get into some things. So I'm going to leave this on the bottom. Notice here it says that I am formatting my data labels. Watch when I click on my chart to legend how this will automatically change to the legend. So once you have the pane up, you just click on an object and you'll change that automatically. So right here, instead of changing my legend positions here, I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to move my legend to the right, giving myself more space for my chart over here. Now, this is just one tab. Notice that there's multiple sections or tabs in here. So I click here on the paint bucket, and this gives me some more formatting options. One of those options is I'm going to click here for the solid fill, and I'm going to turn the background a certain color. That blue isn't working, and the book actually asked me to make this a gold, and right here it asks for a gold accent 4, lighter 60. So when I click on here, you can see how that background has now changed. Some other things I can do is right here under border, I can change that to have a solid border around it, and I even can control how that border is going to look. So right now I'm going to change the color of my border to be right here. This is the gray 50 and it's a lighter 80. So I click right there, and now I've got a gray border. Okay. Now this button here is for changing coloring, changing certain looks to the border, but this one here, the little pentagon, is called effects. And when I click on the effects button, you can see I can put glow, I can put soft edges on things, but I want to play with this one here called shadow. And the book has asked us to put a shadow, which is going to be offset, and it's going to be offset to the bottom right. So you can see now to the bottom right we get this little shadow that goes in and around our legend. Gives it a kind of 3D effect. Now notice when I click over here, I've now changed to the chart area. I've changed to the chart area, and I can come over here to the chart area and I can make this background be filled in. We'll go a solid fill. Now notice the last filling was the paint bucket color for the legend, so it gave the same fill color here. But I don't want that particular color. I actually want the lighter 80. So when I do that, you can see it changes to the lighter 80, which is matching this coloring in here. A little bit of marketing to make everything look good. So these are the things that the book wanted to show us about that pie chart. Really quickly and easily, we can make this thing look very well. So in this video, we formatted our pie chart. We learned that in the older versions like Office 2007, 2010, we had 4 tabs on the top to give us our chart tools. We now only have 2 of those tabs, and we've seen where we now can get into a lot of those features. As we move into the next videos and we start looking at pie charts and line charts and other charts, you're going to see how we're going to delve in even deeper to some of those tools, and we'll also see what's left for us up in those 2 original tab buttons.